The tick of the biological clock is fading.
Loves that. Ready?
More and more women over 35, even 40, are having healthy babies. Cara Bruno was 41 years old when she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl.
My husband and I was not in our plan to have kids before we met, and when we were together, it just wasn't something on our list to do. And then I guess after we hit 40, we started thinking about it and thinking, well, maybe we'll just, maybe we should. Maybe we'll, later on, 20 years down the line, we'll say we should have, and we didn't really want to say we should have. So we said, well, let's try, and it pretty much happened right away. So now we have a baby.
Cara says she did have some fears about having a healthy baby at her age.
I guess there is the fear of complications in the pregnancy. Definitely there was a fear of that, because that changes. I think that changes after 35, and then after 38, 40 probably gets more and more. So there was that fear that something could go wrong, or birth defects that are get more and more probable. So it's through the whole pregnancy and each sonogram. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Because of my age.
Dr. Lois Brustman, an OBGYN at St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital in New York, says it's perfectly fine for women to have babies later in life.
I think it is safe. Everything in life is just dependent upon what other illnesses you might have. But as far as a healthy woman over 35 who can get pregnant, I think it's safe. I think it's her options. We've waited for many years for our careers to be done, for life. I think it's an incredibly viable option. It is an option, it should be done.
But there are certain risk factors involved.
As you get older, statistically, there's a higher incidence of hypertensive disease, of diabetes, either pre-pregnancy or during pregnancy. Other diseases that you might have, like connective tissue diseases, being lupus or asthma, they have had more time to develop the complications. So therefore, it's not like a 22-year-old getting pregnant. You've had diseases, or we've had diseases in our system that can affect the pregnancy.
And Cara's fear of birth defects was well-founded.
The risk of birth defects definitely increases. We believe it increases as a woman gets older. After 35, in years past, we offered all women in the United States a form of invasive testing, either an amniocentesis, which is done in the second trimester, or a chorionic villus sampling, which is done in the first trimester, to look at a baby for chromosomal anomalies like Down syndrome. That does increase just to the fertility of the eggs, which is one of the reasons that people don't get pregnant. Their eggs become old or abnormal.
Dr. Brustman says that after 35, a woman's biggest obstacle to having a child is getting pregnant.
People say starting from 30, there's a decrease in fertility. After 35, it's sort of maybe an exponential decrease in fertility. Between 35 and 40, most women do okay and can get pregnant. After 40, there appears to be an exponential rise in the rate of infertility. People do get pregnant, and that's not to tell people they shouldn't try after 40, but just to understand that if it doesn't work after 4 months, don't wait a year or two. Your time is limited.
You should pay a visit to your doctor before you start trying to have a baby to identify any risk factors that might get in the way of a healthy pregnancy.
Then talk to your doctor about the best way to conceive.
People believe, I had sex, I'm going to get pregnant. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes, if you're lucky, but it's always in life when you want something, it doesn't always happen. So you really there are ways to try to get pregnant and how you do it. And then after, it's that commitment of what it means to your life, how much you want to know about that fetus preconceptually, your commitment to doctor's visits and prenatal care.
As for Cara, she's had no problem adjusting to life as a mom in her 40s.
I'm probably a lot less selfish than I would have been younger. Like the things that are sacrifices now, they're not really sacrifices to me. I don't mind that I can't go shopping or I can't just, you know, run out the door and meet friends. You know, all that sort of stuff that you take for granted. I don't really care. It really doesn't matter at all. I don't feel like it's really sacrificing anything. Where I probably would have more so anyway at a younger age. Felt like, oh, I can't do this or that.
And Kara says there's no reason to think twice about your age if you really want a child.
I would say if you want one, don't hesitate at all. It's no reason to hesitate. You know, if you're in good health and you get the okay, you know, your doctor, everything is fine, as long as, you know, you want it, you know, and you feel that, you know, it's something you want in your life, don't even hesitate, you know, have a baby.